There once was a quiet valley, wrapped in morning fog, a place where even the river seemed to whisper instead of rush. And in that valley lived a young man named Arin. Arin's mind was never still. It was like 1,000 voices all speaking at once, some kind, some cruel, none of them silent. He could spend hours staring at the mountains and never really see them, because his thoughts stood in the way like clouds before the sun. Each day was the same battle. He woke with the past whispering in one ear and the future shouting in the other. No matter where he went, his thoughts followed, dragging behind him like tin cans tied to a restless dog. He wanted to escape himself. One night, unable to sleep, Arin walked until dawn painted the sky. He found himself by the river, watching the reflection of his trembling face in the current. It was then that he heard two travelers passing on the road above, speaking of an old hermit who lived beyond the forest, a man who had once been a great teacher, then vanished into silence. Something in those words pulled at Arin's chest like a string tugging a kite still caught in the wind. The next morning, he left his home behind, no note, no goodbyes, just a pack, a walking stick, and that small flicker of hope he dared not name. The journey was longer than he expected. He crossed rivers, climbed stony ridges, slept beneath cold stars that didn't care who he was or what he carried in his heart. Sometimes the road disappeared entirely, and so did his resolve. On the third day, rain fell so hard it erased the path ahead, and Arin screamed into the storm, screamed until his voice broke, until the sound of it was swallowed by thunder. He sank to his knees in the mud, crying out, "Why can't I stop thinking? Why can't I be free even for a moment?" But the forest didn't answer. Only the wind did, twisting through the trees, wild and laughing. By dusk, soaked and hollow, Arin found the hut. It was small, built from stone and wood, covered in moss like it had grown from the earth itself. Smoke drifted lazily from the chimney, and outside an old man sat perfectly still beside a flickering candle. The flame danced in the breeze but never went out. Arin stood there a long moment, afraid to speak. But the old man opened his eyes and said quietly, "You brought the wind with you." Arin swallowed hard. "I've come to learn peace." The hermit smiled, the kind of smile that holds both kindness and truth. He lifted the candle and placed it in Arin's hands. "Then carry this through the forest and back, keep it burning. Don't let the wind take it." And with that he closed his eyes again. At first Arin thought it absurd, but something in the old man's tone, the stillness in it, made him obey. He cupped his hands around the flame and stepped into the woods. The forest was alive, the wind tore through the branches, laughing like a child at play. Leaves struck his face, his arms ached from holding the candle steady. Each time the flame wavered, his heart lurched. He learned to move slowly, to breathe softly. The more he focused on the candle, the quieter everything else became. Time thinned the forest, his pain, his thoughts, they all blurred into silence. When Arin finally emerged back into the clearing, the candle still burned, small, steady, perfect. He smiled for the first time in years. "I did it," he whispered. "The wind couldn't touch it." The old man opened his eyes. "Good," he said, "but tell me, did you notice the birds that followed you?" Arin shook his head. the scent of pine, the path beneath your feet. No. The old man nodded because your mind was with the flame you see. Peace isn't about escaping the storm. It's about learning to carry the light within it. Arin stared at the candle, its flame shimmered in the dying sunlight. And in it, he saw something, himself perhaps, or something deeper. He understood then. The wind had never been his enemy. It had only been his teacher. The old man smiled faintly. The mind is the wind, he said. Peace is the flame. You cannot stop the wind, but you can protect the light. That night Arin stayed in the hermit's hut. They spoke little, the silence between them was the lesson. Before dawn, Arin rose to leave. He turned to the old man and bowed deeply. Thank you, he said, for the candle and for the wind. The hermit chuckled softly. They were never separate. When Arin stepped outside, the air was cool and still. He began the long walk home. The world was noisy again, birds calling, trees swaying, life bustling in all directions. But inside him something had changed. He no longer fought the noise, he listened to it. He walked through it the way light walks through glass, untouched. And somewhere deep within, a small, steady flame burned quietly on.